Yeah, full piece coming up with Tyknelly later. But as you can see, the power rankings are back. I've heard you missed me. They are the full, completely correct power rankings that nobody can argue against.
Can we boo at the start?
Can we get a bit of booing from the crowd? There we go. We're going from 32 all the way through to 1 pre-season rankings. New York not in it because they don't play in the league. Kilkenny not in it because they just can't be bothered fielding a football team.
Humiliate
so
them.
let's do that in the future. So there's no shame about London being in there at number 32. Limerick at 31, Wicklow at 30, Waterford at 29, and Paul Galvin's Wexford at 28. Great footballer, great fashion designer. Will he be a great manager? Sligo on 27. The only team, I think, to lose every single game in 2019, including the pre-season competition, the FPD League. Antrim at 26. Carlow rising no more as a result of their poor 2019. New players back. They could be going higher up the list next year. They're in at number 25. At 24, it's Leitrim. Every single person, 99% of the population by all accounts, travelled to Croke Park to see them get promoted to Division 3 last year. John Mahon's Offaly at 23, Tipperary at 22. And I predicted they could be going down a little bit further this year. Michael Quinlivan gone from the squad, gone travelling for the year. Louth in the 21, a potential big riser this year. Kieran Byrne back from the AFL. Derry at 20, Longford at 19, Down at 18, and Westmeath at 17, which brings us on to Mike Quirke's Laois at number 16. Great year for them last year. Can the new boss, another Kerry man, bring them up further again? Clare again, another side with a pretty good 2019. Lost to Meath in round 4 of the qualifiers. They're at number 15. Jack O'Connor's Kildare at 14. Armagh at number 13. One of the contentious ones here, potentially. A lot of Armagh people complaining that they weren't up higher last year. Cavan in at number 12. We had Killian Clark in studio yesterday. They've, of course, lost one of their key players. While Cork in at number 11. Now, these, of course, are the most correct power rankings that have ever existed, that have ever been known to mankind. Personally, though, if I was to give personal opinion, I think Cork should be higher. But you know, you can only say what the correct thing is.
They're your rankings.
Fermanagh in at number 10. They had a poor championship last year, but they got a pretty bad draw. Monaghan in at number 9, also with a poor championship, but they will be back. I guarantee you that. Meath, the eternal complainers of 2019. Their actual Twitter account with a blue tick was complaining about these power rankings last year. There you are. Are you happy now? You're in the top 8. Prove it. Welcome to Division 1. Welcome to the big boys game. Let's see how long you survive. Galway in at number 7. Padraig Joyce says he wants to win everything. He wants to win the All-Ireland. So expect big rises from them in the year 2020. Roscommon in at number 6. Tyrone in at number 5. I may have picked these rankings before Tyknelly informed us that Colin McShane will be able to play for Tyrone this year, which is why I've gone for Mayo ahead of them for the time being anyway. In at number 4. Kieran MacDonald, the new coach. Donegal in at number 3. They haven't made an All-Ireland final since 2014. They'll need to get back there. And they haven't made an All-Ireland semi-final since 2014. What am I talking about? So people might have a bit of suspicion about them being in the top 4. I do genuinely believe they are in the number 3 team in Ireland. Kerry, All-Ireland runners-up last year in at number 2. And Dublin in at number 1 because nothing has changed. They've just got a new manager. Stephen Cluxon still plays football.
Right, just pick up that Dublin jersey and stick it on you there, will you? Because you're with your power rankings. Right, here, we're going to recap them. So, number 33 is Kilkenny, off-piste. Number 32 is London. 31, Limerick. 30, Wicklow. 29, Waterford. Wexford, 28. Sligo, 27. Antrim, 26. Carlow, 25. Next one, it starts to get a little bit contentious from around 20 onwards here. Leitrim, 24. Offaly, 23. I think Offaly are going to rise this year. Tip, 22. Louth, 21. Derry are 20. Which I know, understandably, the 20th best team in the country is Derry. Longford, 19. Down, 18. Westmeath are 17. Why are Westmeath 17?
Because they're the 17th best team in the country, obviously.
Laois are 16. Clare are 15. Kildare are 14. Armagh are 13. Cavan are 12. Cork are 11. Fermanagh are 10. Monaghan are 9. That's all gelatinous gloop and nonsense. And then the power rankings from 8 to 1. Meath 8. Galway 7. Roscommon 6. Tyrone 5, Mayo 4, Donegal 3, Kerry 2 and Dublin 1. Let's just establish, once and for all, base camp for the rest of the year. We're here on the 8th of January. What are these power rankings on?
They are the best teams in the country, in order of the current teams that are better than one another.
So today, this is the order in which these teams...
Pre-season, yeah.
And in mid-season and every week, every time we update these. So we'll update these again just before the league starts.
That's why I said that thing earlier on about Cork. I think that they are potentially better than where they're at the moment, but based on the results and based on being a Division 3 team, that's why they have a perceived lowly ranking.
Cork are 11th.
11th, yeah. So it's a cocktail of things because life isn't simple.
Scoring 6-27 against Kerry last week didn't influence your opinion against the Kerry under-21s.
They're a division 3 team, you know, so a lot of people would say that they shouldn't be in the top 16. So this is the nuance that the Power Rankings provides.
Okay, a few points before we get to the main stuff. I think Offaly are going to be a good team this year. I think that year 2, I think they have their superstar kid who is fully available, is going to play the whole thing, and I think they're going to be decent. I think you were right about Tipperary. You mentioned are going to have a difficult year. I think Derry at 20, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Derry this year. I think Derry have a new manager who understands exactly how to play defensive football and get some scores and win matches in Ulster. So, again, a team we have to keep an eye on in terms of what happens in the league, see if they're actually going to be able to play for Sam Maguire. You're not in any way interested in what Jack O'Connor's going to be doing in Kildare? I'm
not interested right now until I see what's going to happen. I think the more important thing for Kildare is Daniel Flynn coming back into the mix, and I think that they will be in the mix for a top 8 for a Super 8's position come the end of the year.
Yeah, I like...
Kildare at 14 isn't a bad place after...
In your power rankings, a team in one position should beat a team in the lower position, right?
You would expect so, but there also has to be a little bit of room for manoeuvre in terms of what they've already shown.
Kildare would be Fermanagh if they played today. In a big game, in a one-off game, Kildare would be Fermanagh.
You think one player would change? Because on last year's evidence, not a chance. Well, okay, there is a chance. Obviously, they're the same division. But if that game happened
in a championship
at the end
match
of the championship last year, Fermanagh would have beaten Kildare.
No way.
So the deputy manager, fair enough, accept that. And Daniel Flynn,
let me say, right. So this is going to sound a little bit anachronistic, but in the league, we're not going to take into account. Like, you can still be a better team. You can lose a match in the league and still be a better team. So if somebody beats Dublin in the league, they're not automatically a better team than them. Right?
Precisely.
However, in the championship, if one team beats the other, that's the very definition of what the power ranking should be. If these teams played in the championship match today, if these teams played in the championship, this is the order of where they would finish.
Yeah.
Right. That's our definition, and we're going to stick with that for the rest of the year. Kildare would beat a load of the teams who are ahead of them. And I think... I think they beat Roscommon.
You think Kildare beat Roscommon? You're putting that on the record right now?
I think Kildare beat Roscommon. I think Roscommon are vastly overvalued with their place in the top 6.
And we'll see.
The 6th best team in the country at the minute. You're saying Roscommon would beat...
They're Connacht champions.
Everybody below them. The Connacht Championship. How important has that been? How often has that been a stepping stone to All-Ireland glory or a place in the All-Ireland final?
Like, I mean, you talk about Mayo's woes through the back door over the last couple of years, the lackage of a good...
Them being better through the back door than they are when they go through the front door.
And that's
Galway's last All-Ireland win came through the back door. The first year
qualifiers.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but you see, come back to me with your...
But this is my point.
Championship.
That there has to be some sort of room for manoeuvre in terms of past achievements. You can't just discount Roscommon winning a Connacht Championship based on the fact that, Kildare look good because they've got Daniel Flynn back.
I'm saying
let me see the evidence. Let me see the actual season evidence
of
Kildare being good. And you know what? I'll be happy for you. I'll be happy for everybody in Kildare. Newbridge or Nowhere proved that weird week wasn't just a fluke, and that's the thing that every modern Kildare
been a while
fan pins their hat on because they got a game played in their own back door.
That wasn't last year.
Great to be a Kildare fan. Exactly, it was the year before last year. So congratulations to you on all your successes as a Kildare fan so far.
I'm just laying down.
You managed to be a part of the Super 8 for one season.
I think that there's a few imposters in your top 8. I think I'm going to be interested to see exactly how Meath performed this year. I'm all on the bandwagon about Meath being whinging about their position in the power rankings last year. Armagh ahead of us in the power rankings when whatever they kicked a score and a half against Dublin in the Leinster final. Admittedly managed to make it into the Super 8, but they obviously got spanked in every single game. So if this is their season, being in the top 8 of the power rankings, then and this is where their lives peak as sports fans, then good for them, because there was a lot of whinging from Meath last year, including from our own box there. Yeah.
You'll see in Navan it says Tommy Rooney. And
some more whinging coming from the box. Quick question: has Eoin just completely forgotten about the fact that 60 footballers have stepped away from the game of Gaelic football in 2020? Surely that should have an impact on the order of where we're at right now. Sean Quigley left Fermanagh. They should be lower. Fermanagh are at 10. Yeah. Fermanagh are in the top 10 teams in the country.
Almost snuck promotion to Division 1 last year.
What did they do in the championship? They lost both games.
But Look at the draw in the championship.
I mean, come on. Like, look at the draw. That's the draw. You
were the one sitting here in studio yesterday saying that the championship is skewed. This is the reason why we have the Power Rankings, Jared, to actually tell people in a fair world, in an ideal world, when teams are at their peak and playing against each other, this is where the cards shall fall. Because the championship is skewed, the cards didn't fall in Fermanagh's favour last year. 2 Division 1 teams, they got beaten by both, and that was their summer done.
Top 10 team. They're a top 10 team right now?
Yeah.
You've got them ahead of Cork. They beat Cork in a game?
Yes. Yes.
Really? This current Cork team? I mean, look...
Now, here's the caveat I will say. So you often get me into, like...
Red Storm Rising. I often get you into what?
You often throw me into a difficult position here about what the actual correct rankings are versus what way I think trends will develop. Now, I can't put in future trends here, but I think the future trend of this summer will be that Cork will build on their success of last year.
Okay.
They start the year in Division 3.
I'm going to give you some homework.
Fermanagh start the year after almost getting promoted to Division 1
I'm going to give you some homework. So we're doing our predictions on Friday, right?
Yeah, Crystal Ball is coming your way Friday.
Crystal Ball is coming your way on Friday. On Friday, I want you to predict what the Power Rankings will look like at the end of the All-Ireland football final next year.
Okay,
not just an All-Ireland final winner, right?
Let's do it.
Right?
Let's do it, yeah.
Is that fair? That's a legitimate, right?
For sure. Well, okay, we can...
Because I'm saying that Cork are going to be in the top 8, I'm saying Kildare are going to be in the top 8, and I'm saying Roscommon are going to go from that, and I'm saying I don't know who else yet.
Well, it's easy to...
Maybe Meath, and I think Donegal, Jesus, they've got to do something.
They're
number 3 in your list.
Yes, because they're the 3rd best team in the country, quite clearly the 3rd best team in the country.
Are they that far ahead of Tyrone?
Yes. Okay, that far, no is the answer. If you want to base it on the evidence of a championship match, the most recent championship evidence we have last year, they were pretty good against Tyrone last year. Like, I don't know, they won Ulster last year. Well, like, what more evidence can I put on your plate? They got beaten by Mayo and Castlebar, deservedly so. And Mayo, at that point in the year, looked like they might go on this strange Mayo run again, straight to an All-Ireland final, and then Dublin hammered them. And that's not a fair gauge to judge Mayo by either. But I just think on the evidence last year, like they're going to have Eoin Bawn Gallagher back, hopefully, for the actual meaningful part of the season this summer. And that might actually be enough to skew a result one way or the other. But I agree with you on that point, that it is time for Donegal to prove that they are the 3rd best team in the country. At least get it to a semi-final.
Tyrone are 5th.
Yes. Now, okay, I did think Colin McShane was going to Australia for the season.
But
that does change things. Immediately, the power ranking. These are always live. This is a live organism. What we're looking at here on the screen.
We're bringing you the full interview with Ty Connelly in a couple of minutes' time. He says that he won't be able to play in the AFL. Does that mean that if you're an AFL team, do you bring him over and have him train with you for the whole year and like be in training, and then next year?
Let's go with that assumption.
Officially, or you say, look, go off and have your last season with Tyrone. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to play or not.
He's that good. He's the difference between the number 5 and the number 4 there.
So, him not playing...
These power rankings are under the assumption that Colin McShane will not be playing for Tyrone this year. If he is playing for them, I think they beat Mayo in a championship match. If he is not playing, Mayo beat them.
If he's not playing... If he's not playing, should they not be 7th?
No.
So, they're going to beat Galway without Colin McShane?
Yes.
Do they have enough forwards?
Not to win an All-Ireland, but to beat Galway,
Matty Donnelly?
they possibly do.
Like, Matty Donnelly is walking around and his leg is in a... It's kind of in one of those things. It's encased to make sure it doesn't move. That's the hamstring off the bone injury that Paul O'Connell obviously suffered. That it's very difficult to come back from, and he'll take time to get back to the level that we know he's at.
Well, he was at a pretty good level at times last year, Matty Donnelly, and I thought he was
excellent.
Yeah,
and like he's an excellent footballer, so they're not going to have him at his full strength until the very end of the championship, you would suspect.
And that is the time when you would expect them to play a team like Galway would be in the Super 8s, and without Colin McShane, I think Tyrone edged that game. And it might be just to do with the grit and the experience that they have of being All-Ireland finalists 2 years ago, which Galway...
I think the Galway question is that they're so flaky. That's the issue. They've been so flaky, and they have a new manager who has to come in and kill the flakiness.
But I like what I'm hearing. I like what I'm hearing from Pádraig Joyce. He's saying it will be a failure of a year if we don't win the All-Ireland.
Well, look, I mean, I think... I
used the word failure.
I heard that conversation he had with Joe. He was like, look, of course our ambition is to win the All-Ireland, but we're not stupid. Like, that was the implication. It was like, we understand that everybody has to set out with the aim. Otherwise, you've built in failure immediately. If you're a Kildare and Meath, it's not realistic to say we're going to win the All-Ireland, but you have to say it. You have to cheat your brain to go, we're going to go out there and we're going to beat the Dubs. Because we'll catch them on the bad day. We'll be the ones who get them on the bad day. My contention here is that at the minute, without Jim Gavin, and without knowing that Cluxton is coming back, the Kerry are the team who are going to win the All-Ireland this year. I'm literally backing Kerry to win the All-Ireland this year. I think this is the point. 5 in a row is such a big deal. This has all the hallmarks of a letdown year for Dublin. And if Dessie Farrell can win an All-Ireland this year, it'll be unbelievable.
It won't be, though, because he's got the best team in the country.
But how far ahead?
Won 5 in a row.
How
the
far
best team ever.
How far ahead of Kerry are they?
None of the players that matter have actually retired. Like Bernard Brogan retired. He used to matter.
Cluxton has not come back yet.
He's on holidays.
I don't know if he's going to come back.
If Cluxton doesn't come back, then we start to rethink things. But like we can't just speculate. These power rankings are based on concrete information, Ger. We can't just have flimsy arguments around.
I'm predicting Kerry going to win the All-Ireland. That's my prediction. And Kerry should be number one. Kerry are going to beat Dublin in the first round of the league. Isn't that game's in Croker?
Croke Park, 25th of January.
Looking forward to that.
Kerry are on holidays as well, though.
3 weeks, yeah, but they've been doing training sessions, according to Digger on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't privy to that information.
Right.